This time I thought I was in heaven. Okay, it was heaven and hell on earth, heaven and hell on heaven and hell on earth, and then it went into the Earth song. The only thing I remember from the Earth song was heaven and hell on earth, which is pretty true. There's heaven and there's hell, whatever you want to make it, because this is your own reality, obviously. Bullshit, okay, not bullshit, but it's kind of true. Not that most people would realize that. But anyways, heaven and hell on earth, and then the rest of the shit I didn't remember. But my head kept spinning. Which was pretty, I thought I thought since I'd won the game that I was in heaven. Okay, because once heaven and hell on earth was said, I got a little scared. Okay, but then all the fear subdued in me, and I thought I was in heaven. Because I always thought, could you get high in heaven? Little did I know I was already in heaven getting high. So I was getting high. Once this Earth song was told to me, I was getting high as hell. Rolling, trolling, tripping, never even knowing what the hell is going on. I was flowing. I was getting really fucking high. Sorry to say the F word, but, whatever. It's all for due diligence. And this was great. Okay, I look a little bit bigger than I did before, but whatever. So I was getting high as hell, and I thought this was going to go on for eternity. I thought I was blanked out of space and time, that my van was blanked out of space and time, and my head was just going to keep on spinning, and that I was in heaven, and I was just going to keep getting high in hell for eternity. And I was like, well, this shit's awesome. But the universe doesn't act like that, so I blacked out of it after the Earth song was told to me, and the only thing I remember from the Earth song was heaven and hell on earth. Amen. So I come back to it, and I was told, eat, pray, sleep. Eat, pray, sleep. Eat, pray, sleep. And at this time I was a little bit pissed off, because I'm like, that sounds a lot like Earth. What the fuck? Eat, pray, sleep. Sounds a lot like Earth, eat, pray, sleep, what the fuck? I'm like a little pissed off. So I black out of it again. I come back to it, and I'm jumping on some old lady's car. Trying to pass her the blunt. I'm like, come on, bitch, this is a party. Because I thought that Earth turned into heaven, and this was, we were all ascended souls, and we got to have a good time. Not even close to the definition or whatever, so anyways, so she was like, oh shit, and she sped off. So I fell back, and my elbows got scraped up or whatever. I black out of it. I come back to it, and this is not something I'm very proud of, but oh fucking well. I'm laying like the devil in the middle of US 41, which is where my van was parked and where all this occurred. You ever seen an illustration of the devil? He's laying in a prairie. Real nice. Well, I don't know if I should even do it, but I'm the devil and y'all sitting in hell right now. It's such a long story I told. Okay, so well, actually, I was twirling my finger on a little piece of cement pavement, or a tar that was closing the thing. So, I did that, and there was a line of cars just backed up, bumper to bumper to bumper, and every single head was turned on me. And then, my van was back in the corner, back behind me, and the lady that I had jumped on her car was back behind that, and she had a guy next to her window, probably trying to console her or whatever, and they see me doing all this crazy shit. So, and then I realized, I looked up at the stars, and I'm like, okay, this is Earth, right? Yeah. Okay, well, is Earth hell? Or has Earth turned into hell? No, wait, well, even if I was in hell, what would they do to the devil? They'd fuck the devil. Or have sex with the devil. I'm like, no, 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 don't fuck me. No, 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 don't fuck me. I'm like, no, they ain't gonna fuck the devil. They're gonna kill the devil. So I'm like, no, 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 don't kill me. No, no, don't kill me. Well, anyways, I black out of it. I come back to it. I'm walking like Jesus Christ, with my arms spread out. With my arms spread out to a cop with his gun drawn. So I immediately go flat face on the pavement, kissing the pavement literally, because I ain't messing with bullets, because I'm mortal and that's not going to happen. So I black out of it. I come back to it. Sorry. I come back to it. I'm laying behind a Lee County Sheriff's car with one arm holding four cops. Holding four cops off with one arm. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm resisting arrest. This is going to get me arrested. And I'm on probation. What the fuck? So soon I realized that, and then there was a baby cop sitting right over there. And the commander was standing right over there. And the baby cop was like, oh my god, oh my god. He had the low receding hairline, blonde hair, chubby, just like me. A little chubbier. And he was like, oh my god, oh my god. I'm like, wow, I really got a cop to say, oh my god? What the fuck? And the commander was just standing back with his arms crossed. And I'm like, wow, what's going on here, really? I don't even know what's going on. So, I'm laying on my back, flat, with four cops held off with one arm. And you would think a normal human being would flip over to the side if somebody is putting that much force on their arm. Even if they could keep their arm up that much. But no, that didn't happen because, shit happens in the world. So I come back to it and I'm like, oh my god, I'm resisting arrest because, they're trying to subdue me. And the cop was like, this is a, and then the cop was like, you're going to jail. So I was like, deactivating out of the program. And I was like, what the fuck did I just say? And the commander was just like, he's a star child. He's going to the hospital. And I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is a star child? I've never heard of that. Do they know about that shit? Am I the only one that was out of the fucking picture? Oh my god, what the hell? So, basically, then the commander said, he's a star child. That's my father. He's like, he's kind of a little bit fucked up about all this shit. But oh well, obviously, if you never heard about this shit, I was a little fucked up myself. But anyway, so the commander was like, he's a star child. He's going to the hospital. And I'm like, what? What the hell is a star child? Going to the hospital? Well, thank God, I'm not resisting arrest. So he's like telling all his cops to come off of me, and he's like, all the cops are like backing up, like, what the hell? And the commander comes by and he grabs me with all his might, and I'm just like, I'm shaking. I'm like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I'm like, what the fuck, And he's like, I don't even think he said he loved me too, because it's a little messed up. But so I went up onto the ambulance. I went onto the gurney, and they brought me up into the ambulance, and I think I was telling the nurse that, because my friends Frankie and James, they can't have children, and for some reason I thought there was a child of God that was coming into Earth, or a starseed, or whatever the fuck you want to call him, was coming into Earth, and so I was like, Frankie and James are having a child, and the nurse is just looking at me like, what the hell? So, I think they might be. I think Frankie might be pregnant by now. I don't know though. So, anyways, I get up on the gurney and I get into there, and I tell the EMTs, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, you know, I just went through a really bad experience. Can you shoot me up with some gelato? I know D stands for the devil, and I live on Fort Myers Beach, with Fort Myers Beach is hell. I'm so sorry, please, just this one last time. Well, they inject me with something, and I immediately, pass out. And as I'm looking up at the light, as I'm passing out, I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to the light. Okay, so, I pass out, and I wake back up, and I'm in the emergency room. Like, really? I'm in the emergency room? Like, what the hell? And there's this big, tall nurse. This big, tall nurse, and I'm like, she's like, you got in a car accident. And I'm like, yeah, I got in a car accident.
Ethan, Mom's talking to you.
1 second. Yeah, what's up?
Excuse me, Ethan, I'm sorry. That's why these chairs are here.
She just moved it. But anyways,
Are you for real?
so this big tall nurse is like, you got in a car accident. I'm like, yeah, I got in a car accident. What am I gonna tell you? And there was a black security guard at the threshold of the door to the room. And there's no reason why there should be a security guard if it was just a regular emergency visit. So the nurse leaves, and I'm like, as soon as I open my eyes, though, I notice the colors are more vivid. So, that's one thing, I was, enhancing. Whatever the bullshit. So, and then the nurse leaves, and the guard is like, hey, do you want some, you want some water? And he's really nice, and he's like really inquisitive. So he brings his water. He's like, what do you think about Jesus Christ? I'm like, well, he's the best thing that ever happened to Earth. What do you think? He's a great teacher, and he's taught a lot to Earth, and he was really happy by that. Probably because he was told I was a starseed or ascended soul or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and he wanted to get a little more information. So, anyways, my father comes to pick me up, and he asks if I was in a car accident. I just look at him like, nah, man, don't even give me that shit. Because I wasn't in a car accident. I was, I had this little experience. So, believe it or not, blah, 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 blah. Then I go into the hospital a week later, claiming I was, had an adverse childhood experience, which is ACE. Adverse childhood experience. I had a bad childhood, and I needed help. So they gave me help, and while I was there, I went through a sonogram, and during that sonogram there was two nurses in there, and during that time I remember waking up and saying, Boots, Constellation, Alien, Baby. And then, I blacked out, of course, again, and, I was outside of the sonogram room, and the nurse seemed a little bit excited to bring me back to my room, so obviously he understood what happened. After that, I got at the hospital, and I was skateboarding around, strumming my guitar, and, the Kurt Cobain guitar, obviously, and, strumming my guitar, skating, strumming the guitar, and a lady at the end of my street was like, hey, can I videotape you? So she videotaped me strumming the guitar and skating, and she's like, can I do an interview? And she did an interview. And during that interview, she's like, holy shit, the mothership's right above your head. I didn't even look around because I know the mothership was up there, and I'm like, what the hell? You pieces of shit left me here in the third dimension to rot. I'm like, man. So, whatever. So that was about it. And, I don't think I can really explain anything else to you, but I know, obviously the mothership, Boots Constellation, Mothership Athenia, I'm an Octurian Walkin, and la 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 la. That's about it. So y'all have a good one, and I appreciate you taking the half hour out of your day to listen to this bullshit. Thank you, and have a good one.